Hello and welcome to this introduction to Overdrive session. This event will focus on the use of Overdrive as an intranet, enabling you to share information with team members across your organization. My name is Sean Power and I'm also joined by my colleague Ian Weatherhog. Ian is the Chief Technical Officer for Overdrive and he'll be helping with any questions raised during the session. The event today will last around 30 minutes and we'll make a recording available afterwards so you can review the information or share it with your colleagues as you wish. If you do have any questions during the event, then please use the chat box on the right hand side of the screen and we'll answer any questions raised at the end of the session. We'll reply directly after the session for those we don't get to answer during the event, but hopefully we'll be able to get to them all. Okay, let's make a start. So Overdrive is designed for organizations using G Suite, either the education or the corporate version. And this is because it is deeply integrated with G Suite. And it lets you create a website or a portal automatically from content held in Drive and elsewhere across G Suite and beyond. With Overdrive, you can create great looking web pages and portals without the need for specialist skills. You simply decide what content you wish to share, choose from a wide range of page types to suit your content and your audience, and then add in your users. And you'll see how this works in the demonstrations as we go through the event today. Your users will have easy online access to the resources and information that they need. And also, any site created by Overdrive is automatically mobile friendly, so your users can access the site on any device that they choose. A key strength of Overdrive is the range of potential uses available, such as intranets, which we're talking about today, extranets, education portals, event sites, etc. And as you'll see in the demonstration, a site can be created very quickly to share information with people outside or inside the organization. Overdrive is hosted on Google Cloud Platform, and Google uses GCP to host its other well-known services, such as Gmail, Drive, YouTube, Search, etc. And GCP provides global scalability and world-class security for Overdrive. And this allows our team to concentrate on adding new and exciting features to the product. We have Overdrive customers worldwide, and here is a selection from different industries and locations, and also different uses of Overdrive, as you can see. With some customers, such as Tarmac and Western Homes, we have created customized Overdrive solutions to meet their very specific requirements. And Overdrive sites can be made public on request, and a good example of this is UNESCO Sardona, which uses Overdrive to share large quantities of scientific research information. So hopefully that has given you some background information on Overdrive. We now have two demonstrations for you to try to bring everything to life. The first is a recorded video of the site creation process. Then I'll show you a few features of Overdrive on a public intranet demonstration site. So first the video.
With Overdrive, you can set up a great-looking site in minutes using content from Google Drive. I'm going to create a basic intranet site for my company Sanford, so you can see how quick and easy it is. The site will be used for sharing important company information and resources with colleagues, for collaboration and for various company-wide workflows. Overdrive sites are built from Google Drive folders. And for this site, I'm going to start with this area which is already in use in my company. The Documents folder has subfolders and a variety of file types that you can see here. The News folder contains news articles in the form of Google Docs. Once I've connected Overdrive to Drive, I can use this menu right here to both create new sites and jump across to existing ones. I'm going to sign in using my Google account. But I can also configure my site to allow users to sign in using Facebook, Office 365, or using an email address and password. So that's pretty flexible. This interactive tool is great for finding your way around Overdrive when you come to build your own site. but I don't need it right now. So I'll just go ahead and close it down. My site design is looking a bit basic, so I'm going to find my company logo. And now use Template Designer to pick a template that suits my corporate colors. These advanced settings give me a lot more control over the design and layout. But it's looking okay at the moment, so we'll just leave it there for now. As you can see, my site has automatically been created using the content in Google Drive. Notice how all of the folders from my Drive folder are now pages in the menus, and they'll stay in sync if I make changes in here or in Drive. And the content of the folders has also been brought across. Now all my users can easily access and search all the important company information in one place without having to dig about in Drive. And it looks good too. Users with edit permissions can create and upload new files and edit existing ones. This folder contains the key forms that my colleagues need to get to every day. I can switch it to an icons view to make it easy to navigate. The news folder is a pretty important part of my intranet, so I'm going to make it look a bit better. I'm going to use Page Builder over here on the pencil icon to turn the folder tile into a blog. Each article now shows with a thumbnail image extracted from the doc and the first few sentences of text. When I click to view an article, there's a comment tile below each one to encourage feedback from my users. Now for the homepage, which is always an important page for any site. The Assets folder is where I'm going to keep logos and other files needed for the site, and I don't need it to appear in the menus, so I'll switch it off like this. This Google Doc is my explanation to my users of what this site is all about, and I want this to appear in the menus. And now I'm going to use Page Builder again to replace the folder tile with some more interesting content. I'm going to start with an image box and pick something inspirational to brighten things up. Now, as I move down the other tile categories, from Google Drive, you'll see I can add folders and files from my Drive and shared drives, as well as content from other G Suite apps, including Calendar, Contacts, Maps and Photos. From social networks, I'm going to add a Twitter tile, Overdrive IO. Overdrive is also integrated with other cloud apps, such as Microsoft OneDrive and Smartsheet, and has a variety of other tiles to aid productivity, such as workflow and collaborations such as the discussion tile. And to finish off my homepage, I'm going to change the welcome text and hide the side menu. And there we have it, a great looking site that will form the basis of my new G Suite powered intranet, set up in around 5 minutes. I can add in more content and improve the design and layout if I want, but the hard work is done. And it wasn't hard, it was easy. Get started at overdrive.io today.
Hi, that's great. Hopefully that's shown you how easy it is to build your Overdrive site. Now we'll drill down into more detail of what you can do on your intranet site. And please remember to share any questions that you have in the chat box on the right-hand side of the screen, and we'll get to those at the end of the session. For that purpose, I'm going to use a public demonstration intranet site to show you some of the features which are available. And we'll send you the link to the site after today's session so you can visit it yourself. As mentioned in the previous video, there is a tour of the site available which shows you some of the features, and I would encourage you to review this tour as it will show you even more of the features available that we don't have time to get to today. This is a home page, and it's quite a busy page as you can see, but it highlights some of the features which might be appropriate for your home page. We have a static image. We've got a report from Google Data Studios here, showing some customer satisfaction ratings. We've got a live YouTube video, which we can play on this page. And also we've got an RSS news feed, which helps keep the site content fresh, which is always useful for intranets. One of the great features of Overdrive is its ability to display content in different ways. And under the resources and manual section, we have this business process manual. This page shows an embedded Google Doc. And here we take the contents from a doc and embed them directly onto the page. And in this case, we've added in a neat feature to paginate the page to make the navigation even easier for our users. You can also provide the ability for users to edit the document on this page without ever leaving Overdrive, as you can see from this menu item here. It is possible to share other types of content with users on your intranet site too using Overdrive. Here we have a sharing contact information under our directory page. The contact data coming directly from Google Contacts in this case, although there are some other alternatives. So here we see a list of contacts and have the opportunity to choose what information is displayed in this list for my users simply by selecting the appropriate columns in this list. I can also filter the list very quickly to find the contact that I need, as in this case. And then I can click through to see more information about that contact if required. And this is a great example of how Overdrive can take an existing G Suite data source and enhance the presentation of it, as well as making it easier to share with my users. We can collect information from your internet users in a variety of ways. So on this page, under Resources, Travel, Authorization Form, we're actually using a Google form, as you're probably familiar with. And this is one of the ways in which users can access their the data, and we can collect data from the users. We also have a workflow feature within Overdrive, and the information collected in this manner could be used to initiate an approval process if that was part of your requirements. And as you probably know, Google Forms can store their responses in Google Spreadsheets. And here on this responses page, which is an admin-only page, we're showing the responses spreadsheet embedded. And on here, we've got powerful sorting and filtering capabilities as well on this page. And some of the columns from the sheet have been hidden to make it easy to read on this page. And so when I click on a row, I can see all the response data, such as this. We can embed other types of documents as well and other data within your intranet. And on this page, in our reports page, we're showing a series of Google Data Studio reports. These reports are interactive, so if I hover over the reports once they're loaded, I can actually see more details about the data. This is an ideal way to display all kinds of reports to your intranet users. Discussions are an important element of most intranet sites, and Overdrive caters for these very well, as well as providing the option of including discussions on pages with other content, such as documents or image. Specific discussion pages can be created, such as this ideas page here, and you can see the comments and the replies, etc., in this comment stream. So that's all I wanted to show you on the intranet demo site for now. There are plenty of other features available which are contained within this demonstration site. So I would encourage you to visit it and run through the tour when you have the chance. Okay, so here's a quick summary of the main benefits of using Overdrive. As you saw in the demonstrations, an Overdrive site can be created automatically using Google Drive data and using Google Drive folders and files. And building a site is fast and efficient compared with traditional methods. And also no specialist skills are required to create these sites. And many types of content can be transformed automatically into powerful and user-friendly web pages. And pages can be easily updated or maintained by editing the original file, either from the site itself or from Drive. This sync between Overdrive and the source location enables the site to be automatically updated when content changes at either end. Now just a quick look at the licensing model. Overdrive pricing starts at $1 per month per user, and discount plans are available for large volumes of users. The number of sites that can be created is unlimited, which means your users can create as many sites for as many different uses as they need under this licensing scheme. We have further information on the pricing plans on our website, which is overdrive.io, and again we'll send you the link to that after this event. So hopefully that's giving you some information on Overdrive. What I'd like to know is run through some questions that we have, and I'll bring Ian into the more complex questions, and I'll answer some as we progress. Ian, if in the contact section you mentioned that you can set filters for your users, can the users filter the contacts also? It's a question from Kim. Do you want to take that one, Ian?
Yeah, sure. Yes, the contacts tile allows users to filter directly on the page. There's a text box that you type into. You can also have a groups drop down, so you can choose from those Google Contacts groups.
Okay, great. How do you set the site? Question from Katie. How do you set the site for limited access, full access? So Katie, there's a number of ways in which we can segment the site based on your users or your groups of users. One of the ways is that we can inherit Google Drive permissions. So if I or a user can see the folder and the documents within Drive, then they can see it within Overdrive. And we also have a concept of Overdrive groups where I create groups of users and then give access to certain sections of the site to those groups. So there's a number of ways in which that can be achieved. Question from Virginia: if we use a third party to track travel, can that be turned off? Virginia, if you talk about the example form and the responses to that form that I showed in the demonstration, that's just an example. So everything that you've seen on that site can be customized. If there are things that you don't want on the site, you don't have to have them. It's fully customizable. So you can have exactly the features that you want on there. Another question from Kim. I think this might be one for you, Ian. Can I use my dev skills to customize or mod Overdrive?
Yes, you can, Kim. You can include your own JavaScript and CSS in an Overdrive site. You can frame, embed external pages, and we also have the ability for you to create your own tiles using JavaScript.
Okay, so hopefully that's answered that, Kim. Question from Ed: how are the comments for each blog file turned on? Ed, there's a number of ways that can be achieved. So you can turn them on for specific pages. So each page can have a comment stream. You can also have a discussion tile on an individual page. So it looks like any page can have a discussion, and you can have that around a particular subject and allow users to access that. So you've got a number of choices, but hopefully that's answered that question. We have another one from Kim. Can I share intranet links with an outside entity, someone not from my company? Yeah, great question, Kim. So the session today is based around an intranet, and obviously an intranet, you're sharing information with users and staff members within your organization. But Overdrive can be equally used to share information outside the organization. And you can either share the whole site with external contacts or part of the site, sections of the site with those external entities. And you can even have what we call public sites. As I mentioned briefly with UNESCO, they have a site where anybody can access the information on there because they want that information to be in the public domain. So they allow anybody to see that information,
Sean,
which is
the intranet demo site that we'll give everybody the link to, when you come to sign into it, you'll notice that you can sign in using Facebook and email address and that kind of thing. So it's a good demonstration of how lots of external people can access a site if you want them to.
Okay, great. Question from Chris: do you have non-profit pricing as well as business and education institutional pricing? Yes, we do. So non-profit is basically the same price as education, and it's on that pricing page, which we'll send you the information to. So you can find that on the overdrive.io site, Dave. Sorry, Chris, and we'll send you information from there as well to follow up on that. Okay, I'm just running through these. If you spot any we've not answered, Ian,
Yeah, there's one from Renault where she says, can we choose per directory what is shown on the website? We have an extensive drive system and most is not for public view. Yes, absolutely. The each Overdrive site starts from a particular folder that you choose. So you might have thousands or millions of folders in your Google Drive, but sites that just pick up on a single folder or a single branch of your folder structure. Also, Overdrive works really well on shared drives. So a site could be based on a subfolder within a shared drive or a whole shared drive, whichever you choose.
Okay, good. I'll throw Dan's question over to you. Can you add other programs via a link on the intranet site, such as industry-specific programs that are not Google-based? Again, do you want to pick that one up, Ian?
It sounds like that means embedding external content. Yes, we have tiles that allow you to embed other third-party apps and sites.
Good, and you can also link to other external applications as well. So if you have other browser-based applications, you can just create a link to those applications from within Overdrive as well, which is very useful. Question from Corey: can a viewer complete the forms and Word docs stored on the site? I'm quite sure what you mean by Word docs, but forms, absolutely. So a viewer can, the basic essence of a viewer is they consume the information that's on the site. They don't add new content and they don't edit existing content. But with forms, they can complete the forms and they can also comment in discussions, etc.
Yeah, by Word docs, it would be interesting, Corey, to take a look at the workflow feature, which can be based on Google Docs. So where you have a Google Doc that is essentially a complicated form, which I know is a common use case for a lot of people, our workflow feature allows you to automatically create a copy of that form for a particular user, give them edit access to it so they can fill it all in and then submit it into the workflow when it's ready. So maybe that's worth you taking a look at.
Yeah, that's great. I think that's either coming to the end of the questions and we are running short of time as well. Last one from Virginia. Can we embed something like a DocuSign docs for us to point external clients to go and fill out and submit? I certainly haven't experimented with DocuSign. Have you, Ian?
I haven't, but it would be a quick experiment.
Yeah, that's something we could look at. That there is the opportunity to embed external data and applications within Overdrive. But literally, just depend on the application in hand whether that's possible or not. So we can certainly experiment that with that, Virginia, and give you the answer. Okay, if there are any other questions that you've got, we'll leave the question running for a few minutes after the session. So just pop them in there and we'll come back to you. And also, as I said, we'll send you some information. You can always reply to that message on there. Okay, I'm just going to put a quick link on the site, which is a link to allow you to start a trial. And that's quite a good way. This is kind of some of the recommended next steps of how you can investigate Overdrive. And as I mentioned, if you click on that link, you can sign in with your Google account and you start creating your own trial sites, which is usually a good way to get to know what Overdrive can do for you. After the session, we'll send you links to the public demonstration site that you've seen. We'll also send you links to overdrive.io. And this is a good way, again, to see what a finished site could look like. So while you're building your trial site, you've got the end goal in mind. You can actually see what a finished site looks like. If you do have more complex requirements, we can arrange an individual call or consultation with either ourselves or one of our partners. And this is where we'll look at your requirements in detail and advise on the best approach. So you'll get some information about that. Again, just reply to the information that we'll send as a follow-up, and then we can initiate that process. Final question from Kim, very relevant. Is the Overdrive site built with Overdrive? Absolutely it is, and that's a really good example of a site which is not only public, that anybody can access. It is also what we call a hybrid site. So we can sign in because we're authorized users and we essentially get to see the back end, but anybody with internet access can access that site. And it's also, again, a good idea to show what a finished site could look like and how powerful that could be.
Sure, and I think you were talking about the intranet demo site, which anybody can sign into, but the Overdrive site, overdrive.io, our main website, is only for us to sign into.
Yes, I thought that's what I said, but if I didn't, then I apologize. Okay, that's everything from us. Thanks for joining today. Thank you for your time and for your questions. It's been really useful. We'll look forward to talking to you further and seeing what you do with Overdrive in the future. So if you do have any questions, anything else that we can help with, then please reply and we'll help as soon as we can. Thank you.